when it happened to somebody that is close to you, you see like got WhatsApp, it hits differently.
I hear his story, I want to cry.
It's all bullshit one. You think I plan for NOC to tow? You think I plan for my marriage to divorce? You think I plan myself to be in a lawsuit? No one.
So once I went into the toilet, right, he locked it and then he just started strangling me.
On this episode of Getting Out, it's a little bit more serious.
More heavy.
Yeah, more heavy. That's why we don't have Ben. And also because Ben is also at reservist.
Yes, correct.
Okay. So today we are exploring the topic is when life took a turn.
Yes.
And I invited my girlfriend. My current girlfriend.
Your current girlfriend.
Finally.
The first one, the current one.
Do you all have moments when life took a turn?
For me, I actually led a very peaceful life.
So no challenge lah.
No, so far I'm very blessed to have like very peaceful, no challenge.
Easy mode lah.
I think the most tough period was when I first enlisted.
Why?
Because like to have my freedom suddenly like taken away from me,
Right.
and it's not by choice.
Right.
It really changed my perspective on a lot of things. I only can go out during Saturdays and Sundays.
Right.
My Monday to Fridays is planned for me. What I eat is planned for me.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people out there are facing more serious stuff.
Yeah.
But like to me that took a significant turn for me.
Diane?
I think mine was when after I took my oath. That's when I started being rebellious. I was a very, very good girl.
Can't tell.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Exactly. It
Okay.
took a very big turning point for me. After my oath, I just let loose a lot.
It's like about you like go climbing on this.
I go crazy, bro.
Crazy?
I go crazy. Like my mother was so disappointed in me.
And
Started
you, like-
smoking underage.
And like you never notice one lah.
I never noticed that change until I grew out of it.
Everything you game to try one.
Yeah, I on one.
Oh, sounds like fun childhood though.
Yeah.
Sounds like
Yeah,
fun.
but it's quite bad, what? Like,
Yeah.
imagine your mom being disappointed in you.
But now you are more aware
Yes,
lah.
correct.
Okay.
I think I'll share more later, but
Okay.
for me it's when I was in a very toxic and abusive relationship.
Ah.
Yeah, because for me, right, I really value love. So when my love life is like haywire, right, my whole life is haywire.
Right.
And everyone knows your one.
Yeah.
The whole world
So just click. We'll put the link in the description for the.
There's a summary, you know,
I
there's a
don't know
summary
what to
on
say.
YouTube.
Yeah, but that is obviously the worst period of my life,
Yeah.
which is actually just like 4 years ago.
No, yeah. So we will still put the link.
You all have submitted stories. We have received like 50 over
50
stories.
over
right?
stories.
It's all very heavy
We narrow it down lah.
Yeah.
A few.
to find.
The heart can only take so much.
Like this episode, let's say hit about 100k views, right? Then we can do a part 2, part 3.
Yeah.
The first story is from Cherylene. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. She's 32 years old. I lost my dad at the start of 2025. He have always been my role model and his existence at home is always being known. He do all the little things at home and always making sure we are comfortable. It felt like we lost him too soon. We knew about his condition at only end December and in just 2 weeks we have lost him forever. I have been to many funerals, relative funeral, friends next of kin funeral, grandparents, and I have always thought I'll move on very soon. Apparently my dad's funeral changed my whole entire self. I do not know how to continue on and I'm trying my best to. Then guilt took over my mental health. I always thought that he will be here to see my progress, see me build my own house, having my own kids, and 让他享福. I'm sorry that I couldn't make him feel proud, but I hope that everyone can treasure their time with their loved ones and don't take every good morning, good night for granted. Don't be so sure that your loved ones could wake up the next day and still do what they usually do. Sometimes every second could be the last moment with them. We shouldn't keep waiting for the right time. We should live the moment. If you don't do it now, when will you do it? I start to treasure family time a lot more and really hope that Daddy knows that I love him from above. To all the people that have someone in a family struggling or trying to live another day, 辛苦了，加油 and treasure the time left. And to those people who are hesitating to 弥补 a relationship, don't wait, do it now. 弥补 as in to make up for. Okay, I don't think anyone here lost their parents like.
No.
I hear his story, I want to cry.
Just like that. This one.
This is the first one. Hey, come down.
The first one is always quite light one.
No, because I feel like, right, we don't realize that while we are busy with our career and love, whatever, our parents are aging, and you never imagine that your parents will one day leave you. So I feel like this makes me like take a step back and be like, actually, yes, our parents, we need to like cherish them before while they're still here.
Obviously, my parents are still around, but because my parents divorced when I was very young, they got remarried, they have their own family, it felt like I lost my family. Admittedly, right, that I'm not super close with my family. She together with me 5 years, she only see my family like 2-3 times a year.
Yeah, but I'm encouraging him to like make up for that relationship.
Yeah, 弥补 lah.
Right.
Inevitably, because it happened so young into my childhood, right, the relationship is there's a very big gap. It's very hard to
Feel that gap,
connect again.
Right.
In that sense, I still acknowledge that they are my parents. That I should do what I should do for them.
I think for this is not more whether like you manage to repair the relationship, but at least there's an effort to repair it. I won't say like I will be very close with my parents, but I also not say like not close with them.
Right.
You know,
No bad blood.
Yeah, there's no bad blood between me and my
Right.
parents, but it's like my friends going through some stuff. I won't tell my parents. It's that kind of relationship. But I also have never lost any very close of kin.
But have you all traveled with your parents?
Just yesterday.
oh, this is right. Oh, okay.
You just came back.
Yeah, I just came back.
From a
yesterday.
disappointment to you go travel with your
Yeah.
family. Hey.
Yeah. Progression.
Progression. I only noticed my dad getting old when I look through old photos. That's when you realize like, oh, his hair getting a bit white. During the rebellious stage that I had, right, I don't like spend much time with them. Like, I'm always like out.
You think they
until the
lame
train.
lah?
Yeah, I think they lame.
It's true.
I think they cannot relate. They are not the best listening ears.
Yes.
But then I think as you grow up, you start to realize that they were once us. They
Yeah,
probably
yeah.
went through
Yeah.
the same thing as
They
us.
also try to figure.
Yeah.
They're trying to catch up to us.
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
keep
Yeah.
going.
I'm very close to my parents now, especially my mom. So like I tell her everything like my boyfriend problems, my work problems, my friend problems. So
That's
like,
good.
Yeah,
That's
that's
good.
very good. That's very good. That's why when they leave, it will be so painful, man.
Yeah.
It will hurt.
Me and my mom used to be like not as close as now. And then like I think the turning point was when, cause she knows me and Ryan are very like close, and then because I'm now living with Ryan, right? When we renovated our house, right? I tell her like, you know, my room, you can go and make it into like a study room or KTV room, whatever. My class also not staying there. Then she was like, no, your bedroom has to be still there,
Yeah.
so that if one day we don't work out, right, I still have a home to go
Wow.
back to.
Yeah.
Wow.
Then that was when I really feel like she really looked out for me.
Do you all remember the circuit breaker? How was your relationship with your parents then?
Okay.
Really?
But
It was
nothing
okay.
changed. When I was very young, like 10 plus, I don't live with my family. So
Okay.
nothing really changed for me.
But for me, it's because everybody's just cooped up in
Yeah.
the same. Then you see the same faces every day. Then you like get
No breaks.
Like yeah, no breaks. Then like a bit, wow. Then like you get
A
very.
bit and then he annoy you. lah.
Yeah. You all never feel this kind of thing.
No, like, I was very happy
really?
because every day I get food to eat.
That's why. It's free food.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course, free food. Other than the free food, lah.
I think meal.
Meal,
No fight lah.
No
Yeah,
fight
no
lah.
fight.
Okay, interesting.
I think it's just last week only. One of my friend passed away, just 31 years old. He know it's terminal already. He know it's anytime already. And then he said that before he passed away, he want to go visit Japan one time lah, because he never been to Japan. Then I said, then you should quickly go do it lah. He start to plan. But 3-4 weeks later, he just passed away.
He didn't make it.
My last text for him, because I sent him home and all that, my last text for him, he said, hey, you take care. Then he just put a smiling emoji. When it happened to somebody that is close to you, and then you see like got WhatsApp, you see that there's relationship, wow, it hits differently. So I do agree with Cherylene saying that treasure while they are around. Whether it's friends, family, whoever lah, you never know one.
But do you think there's a way that we could deal with death better? Because most of us is like, after something so traumatic happened, then it becomes like, wow, we should have treasured them, we should have built the relationship, we should have ment the relationship. But is there no other way where after they pass, we could have like
To resolve.
resolve it, closure, deal with it better?
I always ask myself, like when my pets pass away, right, why did it hit me so hard? All of my pets' death like kind of changed my whole perspective of life. So I realized, right, it's the regret. The regret that you never spent enough time, the regret that you never treated your pet right and all that. And that applies to any death, any friends or family. When you were free, you could have hang out with them, go visit your family.
Right.
But because you say, oh, I work the whole week, I just want to chill, I want some alone time. You're just lazy to drive all the way there. All this, right, will turn into regrets after they pass on.
But I feel like the advice to people that are having that kind of thoughts is that don't think of the things that you never do. Think of the things that you have done. Look at the bright side of things, lor.
Yeah, it hurts now because of the good memories you're sharing.
Yeah, actually, yeah. This is from Alicia, 31-year-old. Everyone thought that we had the perfect marriage. He was charming, well-respected, and always kind in public. But at home, a different man came out. The first time he hit me, he cried and he said he lost control. I forgave him. The second time, he blamed me. After that, it becomes a cycle. He will get angry, lash out, and then apologize, promising it would never happen again. I stayed because I believe he could change. It wasn't until I saw how terrified my child was that I realized that I needed to leave.
This one I can 100% relate to Alicia. I want to disclaimer first, right? That I don't want people to go and trace back and find this person, because I feel like right now I'm very peaceful. I don't want like him to come and find me lah.
Right.
Basically, my story is when I was in poly, I met this guy. Let's call him X because he's my ex.
Okay.
Initially, he was very sweet, like the chasing stage. He would surprise me with all these little gifts, and he was like a K-drama guy lah. And within 3 months, right, we had an argument, our first argument, and then he punched the wall. And let me just like tell any girl or guy, right, if you are dating someone, right, and he punches the wall, right, please leave, okay? Take it as your first warning shot. This
First
might be
red
your only warning shot that you will get, okay? Because that means, right, he either got anger management issues or he got violent tendencies, okay? So just run far, far away. Really. And it was like over the most like stupid thing. Like he was quite possessive. So he don't let me wear revealing clothes. So then I wore this sleeveless dress. And it was sleeveless, okay? No cleavage, nothing, okay?
Just sleeveless,
Just
like
sleeveless.
singlet.
And then he not happy, so he punched the wall. So fast forward about 3 months, right? We had another argument. This time was even more stupid, okay? Basically, he pinned me down. Like, this is me, okay? This is me. And then I'm 155 cm, okay? And then he
You
was...
155 eh?
I
Just tell everybody you're 151.
155!
Okay, 155 man.
Okay,
He was,
faster. 155, 151.
Yes, 155.
Okay, 155.
Doctor say 151.
I'm gonna pin you. I was this, right? And then he started like doing this. He just like punched me.
Your face?
My face. I was trying to block my face, but he was just punching like every side of my face that I'm not
He
covering. Like.
punched her pinned down for
Yeah.
2 whole minutes.
2 minutes. I don't know if it was a concussion because I have never experienced a concussion, but it really felt like a concussion because I was very dizzy afterwards. Okay, I ask you all, right? What do you do when your partner punches you? What do you think he would do?
He will take a step back. Like,
Yeah.
what have I done? Then
Yeah,
he
yeah,
help
yeah,
you.
yeah.
I
Yeah,
guess.
yeah,
Or he will apologize or
Like
what
he'll be
lah.
like,
Yeah, yeah.
oh shit, why am I?
Yeah,
am I
or
crazy?
apologize, right?
So he didn't apologize. He didn't say that he won't do it ever again, okay? He blamed me.
Wait, what? That's
He blamed
gaslighting
me.
you.
Yeah, he just said that it's your fault that I punched you because you shouldn't have lied. So basically what I lied about, right, if y'all want to know, right, is I was playing Maple Story.
Your
And
head?
yeah, Maple
No.
Story.
Okay, sorry.
So I was playing Maple Story. Then he don't let me play Maple Story. So then I lied to him that I never played Maple Story. But he went to stop and he went download the app, right? He stalked my name and then he found me playing.
What's wrong with playing Maple Story?
Because I had this best friend in Maple Story.
And it's
then
a guy.
It's a girl.
Oh.
I tell him it's a girl. But he keep thinking it's a guy. I think we were together around like
2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, out of the 2 years, we broke up I think like 200 over times. He punched me maybe like 50. Sometimes it's slap. Okay, sometimes not that bad.
What the is that?
Sometimes it's punch, sometimes it's slap, sometimes throw things at her.
Yeah,
50 over times throughout these 2 years.
Okay, wait,
Yes.
but can I ask, maybe after the 10th time, you might have realized
Usually
that maybe
after-
not even the 10th time, the 5th time, maybe there's something wrong with you. But 50 a bit too much.
No, okay, I want to say like a lot of people, right, they go ask like why the girl so stupid?
Correct.
Why they don't leave? Like he already beat you, why you still don't leave? Like, all my friends that I talk to keep asking me to leave, right? But the thing they don't realize is that sometimes these abusers, they are very manipulative. They will gaslight you and then they will isolate you from your support system. So they will say that like
your friends are bad influence, you know, your family not good.
so what happens is that they gain power and then you feel like they are the only person who understands you, who accepts you for who you are and who will actually love you. Then you'll feel like, okay, he's the one for me. So
Right.
I want to tell anyone who's like still in a relationship, right, that we accept the love we think we deserve. And you deserve better.
He also beat her in public places.
I had an events job
Yeah.
and then it was like at Suntec City Tower 4. So that was
Specific.
like that was like one of my worst beating from him lah.
In public.
Nobody helped you.
It wasn't really in public, okay? So basically, at the events job, right, I wanted to break up with him. So he was very angry. And then I blocked him on all channels. So he came down to my workplace and find me. Then he snatched my phone and he ran to a wheelchair toilet. And then I had to chase after him because he had my phone, ma. So once I went into the toilet, right, he locked it and then he just started strangling me. And then I was like shouting and crying and I was like begging him like, okay, I promise I won't leave you. Like, please let me go. It was like 30 seconds. And I was shouting. I don't know why like nobody
You
come
are
and...
desperate already.
Yeah, nobody come and knock the door and
Right,
like
right,
ask what's happening. Somehow it was a Suntec Convention Center. So I thought people would save me, but in the end, after 30 seconds, right, he stopped lah. And then I just ran out and I was crying and all. I really thought I was gonna die. Like genuinely thought I was gonna die. Because I don't know if you've ever been strangled, but you really like gasping for air.
Yeah.
It's very, very traumatic.
So when do you find the courage to leave?
I would say it took 2 years and I went to India at the end for like a 1 month community service. Then we had no reception. So I basically ghosted him for the entire month. Then when
Basically, you all haven't break up.
technically we haven't break up.
So you're cheating on him now.
Jesus. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so very tough to leave. But I would really strongly recommend your leave lah. Don't wait until it's too late to leave. So to Alicia, right, you might not be able to find the strength to leave for yourself, but when you realize, right, that it's not just you who's the victim, it's also your child. When your child sees you getting beaten by your husband, right, they will think that love hurts. Like love is supposed to hurt. So if you don't want to do it for yourself, right, Alicia, please do it for your child and let her have a chance at love and
healthy
love.
relationship.
Yes, because you set the example as a parent.
Yeah. But I think it's also the lack of avenue that people might feel like they don't know where to seek help.
Correct.
Actually, there is a service for this, right?
Support system, right?
Yeah, there is. This thing is called MSF, which is short for
Ministry of Social and Family Development.
Yeah, so they got a hotline. There's also a website where you can go visit or you can give them a call to seek help. Because maybe you feel like your friends don't understand or your family don't understand or you don't even want to tell them because you don't want to worry them, right?
Yes.
Then you can call this type of hotline to let them be able to help you out of this type of situation.
And this is not limited to females only. I
Yeah.
think guys out there also do
Yeah,
face some of these abusive problems as well.
Yeah, don't need to feel embarrassed. I remember I felt quite embarrassed because like I keep saying that I will leave.
Yeah.
Then in the end I never leave.
Right.
Then I cannot complain to my friends anymore because I promised that I will leave.
Correct.
So you can talk to MSF.
I recognize, right, there are some guys that are being abused by their girlfriend, right, that they cannot say because people will make fun of them.
Yes, we hear a lot of girls, but we don't hear the guys stories.
Guys will keep it to yourself because it's like paiseh ma. So please also consider calling MSF if you're stuck in a relationship like that. The number is very easy one. 1-800-777-0000.
You can submit online form as well in the description below.
Or visit their website.
Next question by Sunshine, 36 years old. When I was 16, I was diagnosed with autoimmune illness. At that point, this chronic illness was relatively new and the prognosis was not good. The life expectancy of others who had the same autoimmune illness was around 40. To be told at 16 that you have limited time left on earth can be quite overwhelming. Looking back, this illness has been quite a major contributor of how I perceive the world. Rather than focusing on the small things, staying happy and positive became my lens. I remember 1 year after my diagnosis, one of my friends commented how positive I had become. It was quite surprising for me because I had often thought of myself to be quite melancholic. How do you pronounce?
But I know what it means. I know, like
melancholic.
like very depressed like that.
I'm so sorry. I still don't know how long I will live, but medical science advances have definitely led to a more positive outcome for my autoimmune condition. There are days of pain and flare, but it is usually tolerable.
So Sunshine say that there's limited time on earth, right? Truth be told is all of us have limited time on earth.
It's just our time
Duration, but
our duration.
we also never know.
We will never
We will never know.
Correct.
We assume that we will all live to 80, 90 years old, but something can happen tomorrow.
Exactly.
And that's it. I also had that moment of clarity, right, where I fully understand these words, which is live in the moment. You stop worrying about the future.
Right.
So last time I always have that 3-year plan, 5-year plan, 7-year plan. It's all bullshit one. It will never turn out like that. You think I plan for NOC to tow? You think I plan for my marriage to divorce? You think I plan myself to be in a lawsuit? So all my plans was all just disrupted.
Correct.
Because these type of things happen. So I realized that I will never plan more than 1 week in advance. The max I know is what is going to happen next week and that's it. I don't want to be so arrogant enough to believe I will live healthily until like 95 years old and then it's time to go.
But for me, actually, I live a bit different, like quite the opposite of your mindset.
Oh.
Because for you, like you want to live in the moment.
Yeah.
But I feel like failure to plan, right, is
Is
you
the-
plan to fail.
I know.
already. And even so, let's say I do plan my 3 to 5, my 10, my 50. Like, is in a sense, it's a bit of manifestation. Because like you manifest that, hey, I will reach that point. You will do things that will lead to that point. Therefore, like you are slowly in a way building your opportunity. So therefore, I still think that it's good to have this kind of planning. Of course, not everything goes to plan.
Yeah.
It's the way you adapt to it.
I think part of my mindset is also because I don't plan to have kids. So I don't have to plan that much.
I feel like I'm more on Ryan's side. I just live life as
YOLO
it
lah.
goes.
Right.
But if I, let's say, plan like you, right, it doesn't happen as I plan, right, I'll be so disappointed.
Because of the expectations.
Yeah,
you set
that's why I don't
yourself.
want to do that.
Yeah.
But 没有错. I mean,
没有错，
we all have our own
Different,
ways.
yeah.
How about you?
I'm also like a 走一步看一步. I don't think so far. I'm like an overthinker. I'm like a very big overthinker.
very bad.
I can literally feel like plan my entire life, right? And then I just spiral in that moment, but nothing happens. So I think more than I do. So So now I just like do first.
I think overthinking is also one of the things that is very
Self-destructive.
Yes.
self-destructive. It's more destructive than a lot of things that you might think is a lot more dangerous. This obsession about thinking about things that might have happened is like you go through the pain one time already, and then when it finally happens, you go through it again. It sucks. And then if it never happened, then what for you went through the pain in the first place?
It's like you are suffering twice.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
easier said than done. I also tend to overthink and must consciously try to control my thoughts.
I think it's very common.
You think whatever your mindset is, right, will change if you were told that you have limited time left to live?
Confirm.
It will change, right?
For sure, for sure. That's
Then
why
you won't
like,
plan above
won't
40
plan
years old
so
lah. If you
I think I will just travel as much
yeah,
as I
I
can.
won't plan after. I mean, sadly, I hope you do live longer than this,
Yeah.
for sure. But like, yeah, I won't plan past what the doctor tell me lah. I'll
Right.
just go and do what I want to do.
Self-prepared.
Spend all your money.
Yeah, spend all my money, then like
Send
do-
resignation letter, YOLO. just
Yeah, like
go.
YOLO, you know, work one day then quit. That kind of thing, you know.
I think very similar to the friend that passed away.
Right.
His whole family have no history of any illness. Freaking healthy, freaking fit one. Then suddenly he just got.
So he didn't know.
There's no warning sign. Then one time he just go pee and then he saw like blood. He go see doctor 3 times. They say nothing, it will pass
Okay.
on. The 4th time he go hospital because he still persist, even got medicine, right? They say terminal already.
Okay.
Walao. When he was told the news, right, he say he won't have more than 3 years to live. But he survived for 6 years. When he crossed the 3rd year, right, he said, maybe it's getting better.
Can I get like?
Yeah, maybe.
Can I do it?
Like then he start to think he like Wolverine like that, got self-healing.
Yeah,
He tell me
manifestation.
he tell me, he said, like I feel better, like I got more energy.
Yeah,
and
right.
then suddenly it got worse.
Right. Talking about this, I know okay, this is not sponsored by Health Promotion Board.
Yeah.
Okay, really.
Yeah.
But I just want to say that go and do your yearly
Annual
health
checkup.
checkup.
Oh yeah.
Annual check is very important. You may think that you feel fine, you may look fine, but just go and do. You
yeah.
might never know what's happening.
Yeah.
Then like in these such cases, you might never know one. So
Yeah.
just go and do your health checkup every year.
So the Are You Okay team, everybody's more than it's all quite old lah, over 30 years old lah. So like John, me, right? And Cherylene. We think we quite healthy ma. Okay lah, a bit weight problem, a bit overweight here and
You
there.
thought it's like old age,
Just old age. Then we all go our annual checkup, right? All of us got the same problem. High blood pressure, high cholesterol, high all that. But we are consciously eating clean. We cut off sugar, don't eat processed food, and drink water. This is everything that we do. We still like that. Imagine those that never take care of themselves.
Exactly.
Even worse.
Yes.
So you never know one.
Just go and
Yeah.
check.
Actually, I'm very curious. Would you all rather, right, knowing when you're gonna die, or just like not knowing when you're gonna die, then you suddenly die?
Not knowing.
I rather not know.
Not know.
Not know.
I think
But in the sense that if I know I'm gonna die in like 3 years, right, then I'll do whatever I want. I won't even think about saving money
I would know.
or whatever.
You want to know?
I will know.
Yeah, I also want to know.
I'll change the question. When you're gonna die or how you're gonna die?
Wow.
Hypothetically, like I say that you're gonna fall down the stairs and crack your neck and die. You forever don't take stairs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you rather
The
know.
escalator.
Just don't go more than
Then one day like the lift on fire or what must go emergency.
Yeah, then you know
I jump,
Then it's
I
all
got
fire.
Either I get burned to death or I go and
Yeah.
take
So
the-
would you rather know when you're gonna die or how you're gonna
I think
die?
when.
I think when.
When?
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't save so much already, ma. I just spend all my money, ma. Don't work so hard.
Interesting. Ryan?
Well, I don't know. Both sucks. Both sucks.
Both very sus.
I think how
How? You want to see if it's painful or not?
I just want to know like, okay, this is it already. Like
Yeah.
at the moment I'm forced to do the thing, even though I avoided all my life. I say,
No,
so
but
this
what
is
if
it.
they say that it's murder and then you go through life, right? You don't know who's gonna murder you.
That's very stressful.
So both also gonna.
I don't want to know anything lah. My take about death and life, right, is that when it's time to go, it's time to go. There's
Okay.
nothing you can do.
What if it's Cherylene?
Why I'm the murderer?
Yeah, that's why.
No.
La, la.
Yeah, they say, well, I guess I have no marriage lah. Always
So
marry the wrong one.
one day you wake up, she like.
I'm gonna pin you.
But okay lah, she 151 lah. I okay one. I can fight back one.
I was already smoking at the age of 13 just because it looked and felt cool. However, one thing led to another. I was being introduced to a gang and was told to join them. With the cliche, join us and we protect you. Again, thought it was cool and I joined them. Not only until 2 years after, when drugs came into play, curiosity got the better of me and I had succumbed to temptation, taking drugs. Back then, as I was too blinded by what was in front of me, I did not see the severity and insanity of what I was doing. Going into handicapped toilets, going to staircase. It was one fine day that I decided to not follow my friends in those activities. I think cause I know money lah, and went back home and realized that they were caught by CNB. Reality shook me and I was taken aback. Just like that, I immediately stopped whatever I was doing as though I had never taken any of it. Fortunately, the entire duration of me taking these things were approximately 3 months plus, and I was not really hooked onto it. I was able to stop right there immediately. From then on, I managed to leave the gang as well, and my life took a 360-degree turn. Happily married now with my wife and never turning back to that life again.
360 degrees going back to
Means
where
you're
you
back.
started.
Yeah, so I think you meant 180 degrees. Yeah, but finally a very happy ending. Very happy ending to another story.
I have friends that took drugs when they were young. Wow, the impact I see like now at our age, right? They really slow a bit on it. It affects their mind and their memory is mother bad on it. You see they're trying to think or remember something, but it's just like
In out.
got holes in the brain one. They really cannot process the information correctly. I will say drugs is something that I will never touch on. It's the damage is too much already.
But smoking is okay.
You see, smoking I started smoking at 22 because of my ex-wife. Yeah, I want to say this story again if you all never heard. I never smoked throughout my whole NS, right? NS is the easiest time to get hooked by smoking
for sure.
because you are so bored. My entire NS I never smoked. Then I met my ex-wife. When I was chasing her, she said, I think guys that smoke are very cool.
That's it.
Then I was like, yeah, I smoke. then that's it, regret. But she also apologized for it because she told me that the thing that she regret, right, when we were in a relationship, right, is that she told me that sentence.
Since we were from different generations,
Yeah.
like 2000s, 90s, and maybe 80s.
I'm 80s, yes.
Like during your time, did anybody actually offer you drugs before?
Drugs, no.
My one got lah.
Have ah?
My one got lah. But
So
I always
you just reject,
straight up
straight
no.
up reject
Straight
lah.
up no.
Right.
I saw students, right, at like the staircase outside, right, just like sniffing glue and stuff like that.
I think last time it was a thing. I don't know whether it's true. Last time in poly, there was this rumor that if you buy a pack of Lucky Strike, that they say they call it Lucky Strike is because out of don't know how many thousand packets of Lucky Strikes are there, the rates inside got ganja, which is weed.
Huh?
Did y'all ever heard?
No.
Don't have?
Never heard it.
Never before?
It's a what? Random lah. So if you 中, then it's
Yeah,
lucky
it's zong,
lah.
then you lucky. That's why the pack of cigarettes is called Lucky Strike. Have you ever heard of
Like
it
a
before?
marketing ploy to buy more lucky.
I know, that's what I heard in
Maybe
poly.
it's not dating. Maybe it's not
Dude, it can't be legal leh.
Huh?
It can't be legal leh.
I don't know.
Obviously,
I don't,
it's not
I don't know.
legal
That's why it's a
Oh,
rumor.
it's a loophole.
It's just a rumor that I heard during poly.
That would make people smoke more, yeah.
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 Keep buying until you like get that
That's why during poly, Lucky Strikes was so
popular.
popular.
I will say this of all the vices out there, I think all vices are bad, okay?
Okay.
To me, drug is the worst vice. There's nothing
Beneficial
in it.
for you.
If you say you are
high,
addicted to gambling,
right.
maybe there's a small chance you will have a payoff. And you
Don't say this kind of thing.
I say all vices are bad.
Yeah.
But I just don't get drugs.
I guess it's the high.
The willpower of this generation, Gen Z, I don't know. I don't know if it's strong or good, but it's quite strong for those who don't smoke. Why I say this is because on TV, there's this show called Peaky Blinders. When Thomas Shelby smokes, it makes me want to smoke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. When I watch the show,
like all the shows, like you watch Brad Pitt smoke,
Yeah.
you watch Thomas Shelby smoke. Wow, it makes me feel like I want to
Yeah,
smoke.
yeah.
So like I feel like those people that didn't pick up smoking in this generation, you are very strong already.
yeah.
When I was dating my first ex, right, then he also like part of a gang, and then all of his friends were all smoke. Then I always felt like I was the odd one out because
Right.
they always had this smoke break thing, okay?
Peer pressure.
Yeah, I really feel that FOMO because they all go smoke
Yeah,
break,
yeah.
and then I'm there at the side. They got ask me smoke, but then I really cannot tahan the smell. It like gives me a migraine. Even now, also he always takes smoke break. Then I'm always like at the end. Then I always felt like quite lonely. So I think that's why people would want to smoke because they want to fit in.
That's also part of the reason why I went into smoking
Smoking.
last time. What they say a phrase where the smokers like they always make friends easier.
It is technically true.
That's why there's this thing.
That's why it's the-
social smoking.
There are times, right, that I try to close a client, right?
For sure.
Cannot close one. Then we go for a smoke break, right?
Oh, then suddenly close.
The 5-minute close already.
Yeah. Don't know
Like the
why.
gut is let down already. Then it feels like, oh, you are not a very uptight person. Let's chill. Then
Yeah.
we become like more friendly. But again, it's really not good for health. I'm not encouraging anybody. to smoke.
Yes,
Yeah.
don't smoke. If you all don't smoke now, don't get into it.
Yeah, don't get
Very
into it.
Okay.
expensive.
Wait, you have never smoked in your entire life?
Never.
Wow.
To close a $10 million deal.
$10 million.
But you
Just
have to
to
act like you're very like.
Yeah.
Okay, now 10 minutes.
I once worked in a company where people kept telling me I'm bad at my job. I'm not good enough. I'm not competent. The people will spread the word/gossip to others to avoid me because she's a bad influence. So I have no friends, no support system at work, no bonus, no increment, no promotion, just verbal abuse every day. Back then, I failed to recognize I was being gaslighted. It was so bad that I wanted to self-exit. That's when a tiny voice in my head told me to seek help from a doctor. Doctor told me to quit. I was reluctant as I felt I was useless and no one would want to hire me. But anyways, I still gathered the courage to leave. My surprise, the companies I interviewed for all offered me. I finally moved on and is now working in a company that treasures me a lot. So for those out there that's struggling, I want to say, I hope one day you will have the courage to walk out. You deserve better. Wow. Female Dota player.
Oi.
That's the name of the.
Yep, that's the name of the person.
I think as employees, you all always have the choice to leave 啦。我觉得啦 no amount of money right should make you stay in a job that you don't want 啦。
Actually, it really depends on what you are looking for in life. Let's say your jobs pay very well. Like, okay, don't say 1 million lah. We make it more realistic. Like,
15K.
okay, 15K a month. You work there for 10 months. That's 150K.
Yes.
So I will do it. Oh.
150K,
But if
right?
we really very miserable,
For that 10 months only, you are miserable.
You just need to like tahan.
Dong sure. You see your willpower lah, actually. But for this person's case, the female Dota player, this person's company was toxic to begin with.
Yeah.
Didn't see her self-worth. But I think it's more like where you see your value at. If the people around you don't see your value, then just go to the next place. I remember I read this story online where you got a bone, you bring the bone to a car dealer shop. The car dealer is not going to buy the bone. If you bring the bone to a museum, the museum is going to buy the bone. So it's along that kind of analogy lah. Have you all ever feel like you're not good enough? Or like there's this thing called
Imposter syndrome.
Yes, correct. Imposter syndrome.
have every day. Until now, every day.
So you don't feel
What's
like the boss.
imposter syndrome?
I can be the boss.
Okay, imposter syndrome is like, correct me if I'm wrong. Let's say like, everybody see me like, wow, I'm a YouTuber, I have this, I have that.
Influencer,
I know all these people, I have all these skills, I'm a smart person or whatever. They can see me like that. I feel like I'm none of that. I feel like that's the image that people see me, but I'm not capable enough to be any of that. It's very easily triggered, right? When let's say one of you come and complain to me about, wow, lately a lot of work lah, what lah, or something like that, right? It's enough to inflict that imposter syndrome in me, right? Like, wow, I'm not a good boss. I wouldn't say common thing, but I do feel like that from time to time lah.
Have you all been in a situation where, example, in your workplace, you are being chosen for a specific project or task, and then you are tasked to lead this team, then you talk to yourself like, are you sure they want me to do it? Like, am I good enough? Have you all been in this kind of situation before?
God lah, but I feel like it's like fake it till you make it.
Oh, okay.
I always think to myself like, you
you
just
tell
accept
yourself
the
you
job
can.
first, then you just figure out how to
That's
do
true.
it
That's
afterwards.
true.
That's how you grow, ma.
You learn
You learn
Yeah,
the
you learn
process
in
lah.
the process,
Yeah.
but you don't let them know that you don't
cannot.
know.
You need to learn to accept to be a little bit uncomfortable.
Yes.
I think to grow in life, you need to stay hungry.
But in this case, right, it shouldn't be so bad until you want to self-exit lah.
Yeah, I think at that point, you better leave already.
Yeah.
It's not
Right.
worth it.
Your mental health is more important.
Yeah.
honestly. Your life is more important.
There's this thing that I heard where it's called spotlight syndrome. I don't know if it's real or not. You just think that everybody right is out there to get you,
Yeah.
or like everybody is judging you every time.
Correct. I also heard of that.
Example, you wear very nice, but when you enter a party, you just keep thinking like, is my dress nice enough? Is my shoes nice enough?
I think she have this.
Isn't
my
that
hand,
insecurity?
Correct.
It's insecurity,
It's called insecurity,
right?
sure. But
Yeah.
what this syndrome is trying to explain is that actually everybody is facing the same thing. People are not really thinking about you. They're thinking more about themselves.
Yes.
So you shouldn't be so hard on yourself.
Yeah.
I heard this because I think last time I didn't dare to go to the gym alone. But then somebody told me nobody gives a shit about you at the gym.
Correct.
Just focus on yourself. Then I was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's true,
like
it's true.
sometimes for me, right, when I post something, right, then I want to repost because it's not good enough. Then I'll be like, cannot lah. Everyone will know that I post twice. He will ask me, do you remember what XX go and post? Then I was like, no. It's like, no one cares about what you post.
She always think that somebody's out there waiting for Cherylene to post. Hey, she posted this. I was like, nobody is doing that.
You never know. You never know.
Sure.
Yeah, like you just feel like you don't deserve or like you're not good enough.
Yeah, why do you feel like that? Leh?
I don't know, I just feel like even though I got like somewhat of a following, but I feel like it's not real.
It's not real.
Like why y'all follow me?
Okay.
You know, like then yeah, that's how I feel.
Ryan?
You don't have?
I do feel like that, but for guys, we are easier for us to fuck it lah.
Yeah.
You know, we got that fuck it mentality.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe for girls a bit different. Yeah. Ryan, eh?
Like you lor, same I will just fuck it or suck it up lor.
Yeah.
That brings me back to the point where overthinking is very, very deadly. If I have no further information on this, then I will not go speculate and go imagine like 管好自己的生命 don't need to go care about other people's life or other people gossip and things like that. So I try to adopt that mentality. And I also think it helped, right, where I learn not to be judgmental. Whatever I hear, whatever I think, right, I always go to assume that there's always two sides of the story.
So would you say that is your biggest takeaway for today's show?
I think the biggest takeaway is, I don't know, let's all treasure our loved ones, be nicer, don't be a judgmental person, just be the change you want to see in the world. That's what I think.
Wow. Today got a lot of
Quotes,
very good quotes.
Yeah.
Cherylene?
I think for me, the takeaway is to love yourself first and to stop like prioritizing everyone's needs or peer pressure or whatever. You know, care about yourself first, because when you love yourself, right, you will accept the love you think you deserve. So your standard will be higher and you will attract the better people around you as well.
Oh yes, I want to add on to that, right? Because when I first dated her, right, before we officially together, right, I told her, right, she must love herself 100%. I must love myself 100%. Then only then when we are together, we can bring the best out of each other. Because I say, if she's a very needy person, right, she only loves herself 50% and I need to assure her a lot, right, I'll be putting in 150%. What happens over time, not sustainable.
I think my takeaway is to not take anybody for granted. I think more importantly, treasure your loved ones while they're still around.
Correct.
Put in the effort to make sure that they know you care.
For me, got 3 big takeaways.
Whoa.
Okay, the first one is same as most of us, which is to treasure our loved ones. Okay, I don't really have a bad relationship with my parents, but I don't have a very close relationship. Maybe after this episode, I go and like try to mend or put an effort into that relationship. That's my first takeaway. My second takeaway is that you all must be more confident of yourself, like what Cherylene said. I think that's very important. And lastly, what Ryan said
Oh, you
is
just
that
take everybody's takeaway.
correct.
Last one to say,
Last to say, yeah. So last one, what Ryan said is that be the change you want in the world. Right? I think this quote is very important, and also I live by this quote. It's nice to be important, but it's also important to be nice.
Hey.
Wow.
Sorry, I must that. For those that need help, there's always help around. We'll put all the details in the description box, okay? So if you are in a complicated relationship, please don't suck it up, don't tank it. Go seek help and get out of the situation.
Don't stay quiet.
Yeah.
You're not alone.
Yes.
alone.
And as always, remember to follow all of our socials. Remember to follow Cherylene on her socials as well, because she don't think you guys are real. Remember to click here for more, click here to what, and cut to the bloopers.
And she's 151 cm.
155!
Hey, can we compare? I'm 155.
Okay.
Wait, you say you're Come back.
Look at
Can see what?